Good evening, I'm Dan Wolf.
And I'm Laura Lee. Thanks for joining us. 5 years after being charged in a downtown shooting, Duluth police officer Tyler Leibfried is on paid leave again, this time for sexual assault allegations. Tyler Leibfried, who is also the first DPD officer to be charged for an unrelated on-the-job shooting, was put on leave and under investigation about a year ago. There were a lot of questions as to why at the time.
But tonight, after tracking this story for months, finally got answers from Duluth police leaders and the Minnesota BCA. Late this afternoon, I obtained 472 pages of documents that lay out the allegations, in-depth BCA investigation, and county attorney charging decision involving one of two sexual assault allegations made against Duluth police officer Tyler Leibfried. And documents I obtained this afternoon from the Minnesota BCA outline the first allegation against Leibfried. The BCA reports the incident in question happened in November of 2024, where it's alleged that Leibfried was out drinking with some acquaintances. Now, one of them was a woman who Leibfried knew previously and allegedly continued purchasing drinks for until she became extremely intoxicated. As she claims, Leibfried eventually sexually assaulted her in his truck. And when she came forward, DPD put Leibfried on leave and asked the Minnesota BCA to investigate. Then another alleged victim came forward. Now, the BCA investigated both allegations and forwarded its findings to St. Louis County Attorney Kim Mackey, who has decided not to charge Leibfried, determining the evidence in the case, quote, does not have a reasonable likelihood of convincing 12 jurors of this. However, the DPD is still conducting its own investigation. Now, this is far from the first trouble officer Leibfried has found himself in while employed by Duluth Police. Earlier this year, I obtained this list of 20 complaints he's faced in his 9+ years on the force. While specific allegations were largely redacted, several resulted in suspensions and letters of reprimand. But an incident in 2020, you'll remember, had the Duluth Police Department calling for Leibfried's termination, and it cost the city $600,000 in the form of a lawsuit settlement. Officer Leibfried was responding to a domestic at a downtown Duluth apartment when he thought he heard gunshots on the other side of a door. He fired several shots into that apartment door, striking Jared File, who was unarmed and injured in that shooting. Leibfried was the first DPD officer to be charged for an on-the-job shooting. Duluth police tried to terminate his employment, but he was reinstated after being found not guilty. As for Leibfried's current status with the department, he remains on paid leave as the department continues its own investigation and how Leibfried's conduct relates to city and department policies. And Chief Mike Sanoa telling me tonight, quote, we take allegations against our officers very seriously and investigate each complaint thoroughly. Now, tonight, I've also reached out to the Duluth Police Union for reaction, but have not yet heard back. We'll keep you updated on the department's investigation.
And of course, as Dan mentioned, this is a story we've been following for a long time now. You can find all of our full reports by downloading our Northern News Now app.